Okay, Sean Fury here from Sean Fury's Hero Training School. Continuing our hero training video series, kind of wrapping up a pretty significant segment here that I've done today for you guys, all about dominator hierarchies. And now we're going to get into the cure for dominator hierarchies, right? If I mentioned earlier that people are not achieving their full potential, 74% of people are not reaching their full potential in life. And why is that? Well, it's because of dominator hierarchies. It's because of these life exploitation systems. So in other words, they're toxic and dysfunctional social ecosystems, right? That people are living in, and then they're going to work in, and then they're going to church in, and then they're going to play in. So they're never outside of these toxic environments. No wonder they're never flourishing. And even when they're not in these environments, they go to a new place and they recreate this same type of social group structure in the social environment because it's in them. It's what they know. These 7 ways that people get stuck that we've just talked about, the 7 types of maladaptive roles that people play, they take that over to their friend's house. And even if their friend's place is healthy, they're going to end up polluting that health. They're going to end up polluting the purity of that environment by behaving in ways that are like bystander or villain or minion or saboteur or politician, right? So even when I want to care about someone and I want to lavish love and affection and gifts and praise on them, if they're in the minion role, they're not even going to be interested in that. They're going to be thinking the whole time about the guy they left at home who's exploiting the crap out of them, and that they're going to be completely ignoring me and the fact that I'm buying them dinner and wanting to do nice things for them. They're just thinking about the other guy who is suffering today, they think, because he doesn't have them to leech off of, right, for 5 minutes. So, what's the solution then? How do we fix this problem, right? How do we've discovered now that the what I call the happiness machine is broken. The happiness machine is broken, right? The system that moves us in the direction of well-being and flourishing or happiness, real happiness in life, the kind of happiness that an organism would get when its needs are satisfied and it's growing and becoming self-actualized, right? It's growing towards full self-actualization and thriving at the pinnacle of its purpose and productivity, and it is really being the acorn has become the mighty oak tree, right? So how do we restructure these environments into what? What are we going to restructure these environments into, right? What does it look like? Well, I like to use a couple different ways of describing things, as you can tell. So instead of being a life exploitation system, it's going to be a life success system. Looks life success meaning need satisfaction and advancing progress toward personal goals, right? Achievement. You can do these 2 things here. You can get your needs met and you can achieve your goals. Instead of being a vertical structure, it's going to be a horizontal structure where people relate to one another as equally valued assets, right? Not as less than, you're down there and I'm up here, or as up there and I'm down here, right? That's kind of sadomasochistic, as German philosopher Erich Fromm would describe it, a sadomasochistic moral character, where one person is submitting to the policies and procedures of the organization while dominating their employees beneath them, right? Getting this weird sadistic and masochistic pleasure, out of being stuck in the middle, rather than just choosing a side and having a standard that's based on need satisfaction and goal attainment, and then enforcing the rules when people are doing things that are anti-agenda of life and aliveness, right? So rather than being sadomasochistic, rather than being exploitative and oppressive and dysfunctional and toxic, you could choose to relate with one another in a way that is empowering of everybody and caring for everybody, right? And in other words, you create uh, I lost my train of thought there. So I'm getting tired. I've done so many videos. You can tell. Life exploitation system, life versus life success system, the dominator hierarchy versus, you could call another way to say it is the empowerment climate. That's what I'm looking for. So and vertical versus horizontal. So I like to use the analogy of the Justice League or the X-Men in the movies, because whenever you see a banner or a picture for the X-Men or the Justice League, they're always standing horizontally together as a team would. And instead of having one person above the other in a rank structure like that, they still have that rank structure, but it's a role structure. Everybody has roles they play, right? You know, you be the first sergeant and I'll be the technical sergeant, and this guy will be the senior airman, and this guy can be the basic, you know, A1C or whatever. That's an Air Force line, different rank structure for the military. So it doesn't have to be dominating and submitting, in other words. It could just be roles that people are having. You're the manager and I'm the employee and you're the administrator, and we're all equally valued as human beings. So we can all treat each other well. We can all be vulnerable together and open, meaning open and emotionally and socially, to meeting our needs together. And another analogy, to go with the wolf pack as a comparison, I like to use the apple orchard. When you look at a picture of an apple orchard, you always see trees that are basically the same height, and they're all flourishing, producing apples, right? Everybody is reaching their full potential. There is not a lack or a scarcity of resources. People have enough of what they need, and it's a very non-violent image, right? Compared to the wolf pack, where you have one wolf growling at the other and fighting top down. So let me think here. I just want to make sure I've covered all these key points. So who's the kind of person who can create this kind of environment? The hero. The hero can create the happiness machine, and they can fix it when it's broken. So let's get into that in the next video.